Okay, I should be live. Good afternoon, everybody. Lowell and David, if you guys could hear me, just let me know in the comments. For some reason, my speakers over here aren't working, so I could check this. This might help me. So just double check, and I am hearing. I think myself. Yep. So should be good. Hi, Tony. Um, Folks, let me know if you can hear me fine. It's been a last minute sort of setup. Lowell, good to have you here from Alamo, Texas. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, good. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate it. David from up in Oregon. Appreciate joining. Tony down in San Antonio way. And thank you, Cindy, for joining and loud and clear. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's one of those things because normally my the intro music, whatever that weird soundtrack I have, I can hear that in the studio here through the speakers, but they weren't working. So excellent. Thank you guys. And Steve is on. Good to, I got to catch up with you, Steve, and we'll chat. Maybe I'll give you a call after this and chat for a little bit. Good to have you here. And Philip, thank you for joining, sir. Good to know, and good to have you here. So thanks for joining from across the pond. Appreciate it. And so, folks, excuse me as I got my Diet Coke here, and I shouldn't have drank it before I started because I got the burps. My name is Todd. First of all, Todd Rains, Woodturning Tool Store. I come to you most every Friday at 2:30. That's a story for another day, but we can always enjoy each other's company at this time. And hopefully, most people are finished their work week if they are working. Nick, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. And Lee, nice to have you here as well from Alabama. So I got Central and South Texas represented, and Alabama. Steve's in North Texas. Dave in the Oregon. Cindy in Colorado. So covering the bases, and of course Philip overseas in the UK. Prepping for today, it's one of those weeks. I just have really. It's the way I kind of run my live stream sometimes, last minute ideas of what we want to talk about. So as always, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions, post them in the chat. I can see them either on Facebook or YouTube. They should come through here. And so if you have any sort of question related to tools, equipment, processes and techniques, wood materials, kind of all things wood turning, I will try and help you find an answer if I don't have one. So this is I've been doing these live streams now for a year and a half anyway, and all of the live streams are on my website. And I'll just quickly show that because I wanted to show a couple other things as well. Share my screen. Let's share Chrome tab because I don't want to show everything else at the moment. That's the one. So sorry about this, folks. I'm just kind of figuring this stuff out a little bit. So this is the website, and if you go to Explore Wood Turning, oops, and I didn't mean to click there, down to live stream, you will find all the past live streams. In fact, here we are watching the real live stream as it goes by, and all the past ones are here. So I've archived them there, and so we can, or you can, go back and take a look at them. I have several, I don't know, dozen? Maybe not several dozen, but at least 2 dozen. Maybe more. I don't know. I can't count them. I didn't count them. But take a look. There's all kinds of topics there. We did a whole series on spindle-oriented projects, Christmas projects, face grain projects. And this last year, since January, kind of been just kind of ad hoc, different sort of topics. But I do look to you to kind of, help steer the conversation where it might go. But for today, I've got a few things to talk about. I've set up a couple of things here to maybe kind of navigate our way if we don't get any questions. And so let's move along. Oh yeah, so today is Friday the 13th. So I know that may carry connotations for a lot of people, but I was born on a Friday the 13th, so for me, it's a lucky day. Maybe not for you guys. Anyway, so I don't know. It was a Friday when I was born on the 13th of March. So won't give you the year. I won't give that away, but it was a while ago. So yeah, happy Friday the 13th, and I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day weekend last weekend. Hopefully, maybe you made something for the mother or wife in your life that has children. And we just kind of did a little quietly here. I had a little home cooked meal as always and stuff like that. Yes, Friday the 13th is a lucky day, Cindy says. I believe so too. So I'll put that up, splash that up for a second. So yeah, that is. Oh, I was mentioning Mother's Day, so that was coming up, and then end of the month is the Memorial Day long weekend, and so our daughter is actually going to be around, so we'll have some fun at the end of the month. Good to be back visiting her and stuff. So this is me. If you need to get a hold of me, go to the website and fill out the contact form. Send me an email, or if you need to, give me a call. My phone is available, although not right now, please, because I'm doing this thing. So let's move on. What do we? Oh, my friend Cindy yesterday had her Woodturning Tool Talk live stream. A pretty successful one. She was streaming to Twitch, I think, she tried it before. I think this time it worked fine. And then Facebook and YouTube. So Cindy is breaking into the Twitch background. So well done, Cindy. It was a good live stream and enjoyable. So she's going to be doing those mostly, let's see, every couple of weeks, likely. So if I see, where did I put that? There it is. Cindy Droz does Tool Talk live stream usually every 2 weeks on Thursdays. Check her Facebook feed, her YouTube feed, and her Twitch channel for details. So check those out. That's it's always fun to kind of help and support friends. And if anybody else has live streams, and Philip, I think you do. Let's try and let people know where your live streams at and when they're at. If you are doing live streams, go ahead and post that in the chat if you feel like it, Philip. I have no problem with that. So let's see what else had I. Oh yeah, next thing. This is cool. So Cindy, many of you know, I've been co-hosting Cindy's demos for a little while now. I can't remember if it's a year or more, maybe thereabouts. Anyway, her demos usually come with a follow-up session, and she's been doing sharing sessions as a follow-up to the follow-up or after the follow-up. And so she's invited me to work with her on a sharing session. So that should be fun. So May 18th, 2 p.m. Eastern, for all the folks in my time zone, that is 1 p.m. Central and noon Mountain. So check that out next week, not this Wednesday, the Wednesday next. And we're going to basically do a sharing session on anything you guys want to share. We'd love to see you guys share maybe projects that we've done in demos that we can help talk through your process of doing the project, talk through our process of doing the project, any sort of hints, tips, or tricks that you guys may have done. Cindy mentioned yesterday in her live stream, and one of the guys in her follow-up session, I think his name was Roger, showed a piston box based on the demo I did, but it was a big one for straws, and I thought that was cool. So that was an interesting share. So those kind of things we're looking forward to. Go through that. This is the oval box I did just a while ago. So if there's anybody doing oval boxes or spheres, take a look at that and share those. This is my small plates. So if anybody's done small plates, bring those along, show those off, let me know. this is my bowl and bowl, or one of them. It's a variation of the theme. If anybody's done those, let me know. And if there is, let's see, kitchen utensils, spatulas and spoons. This is my variation on it, the little notch for holding on the pot edge. If you've got variations, bring those. Toothpick boxes. This is a piston box toothpick version, and then this is a whiskey barrel version. So anything like that you bring along. This is one of my hook tool projects for doing end grain, and then my bowl orientation class. So anything like that you might see. Let's see. How do I get back? Let me see this one. Sorry, I gotta fix something here. Let's switch that one, and then I can move this one back. Switch that one. There we go. Sorry, I had to shuffle graphics around. So, yeah, that would be great. And then I don't have all the pictures of Cindy's demo items, but she's done lately nesting egg boxes. So if you've done those, that was just done for kind of an Easter one just a few weeks ago. The owl box was a lot of fun. She did a sphere turning in that one, then made the owl face, and then of course a box for that. Her metalworking, she did part 2 just a month or 2 ago, and the first part was last year sometime. So if you made any sort of those gadgets, bring those questions. Ornaments with finials, triangle box with inlays, the burl hollowing she's done, of course, the finial box and some of the other umeki boxes and capsule boxes and mushroom boxes, Banksia pods. So, between us, there's just a varied of, I made up a new word, varied and myriad. So varied. So add that to the dictionary, Webster. And myriad of projects, varied across different kinds of turning. And except one thing I don't do, there's all kinds of turning to be done. I have never done segmented, not real segmented. I've done a few segmented pieces, but nothing like segmented. So, and I haven't done, what's the other one? I haven't, therming or that kind of stuff. I haven't done that kind of thing. But, so there's always something to explore and learn in woodturning. So, yeah. So let me put that up again. That is there. Get myself out of the way. Wednesday, May 18th, 2 p.m. Look forward to that. So, put that one back up. And let me see. Do I got a banner on that? I'll just put that up as a. I thought I did. Yeah. For some reason, I didn't make a banner of that one. That's all right. You guys saw it. So we'll be inviting everybody on our newsletter list. So go sign up on Cindy's website to her newsletter. Go sign up on my website to my newsletter. If you're already on it, you'll get a notification here in the next day or two from either one or both of us, and that will be a Zoom meeting, and so that'll be a lot of fun, a lot of interaction. We're looking forward to that. So, yeah, that was everything on my little list here. So for that stuff. So what? Let me get back to the comments because I think there was a couple of things there. Boy, it's getting hot in here for some reason. I am. It is now getting to the warm part of the. Let's see. Philip says tomorrow I have an IRD with the Bay Area Woodturners in the U.S. Oh, excellent! Yeah, excellent. That's good, Philip. So good luck with that. Let us know what are you showing for them. I be interested to know. I did Bay Area last year sometime. So Bay Area and another club kind of get together. Can't remember the other club's name. 2 small clubs out there. Great guys. And actually, my daughter lives fairly close to them. So we were out there a while ago, and I was trying to time it up with one of their meetings, but it didn't work out. So I don't know that my wife and daughter would let me go anyway after going all the way there to visit to go to a club meeting. So let's see. Yeah, so Lee, it will be a Zoom meeting on the sharing session, just like one of the normal sharing sessions that Cindy hosts. And Cindy, we need to get, I guess, that Zoom meeting set up so that we can share that link out. So, Lee would have to contract. Yeah, so I think, yeah. No, I'm catching up on the conversation. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Todd and Cindy. So, yeah. Philip, normally, yeah, your club is just your club demos for the club people, and you have to talk to the club if you want to get invited. I get that. Yeah, absolutely. But to Lee's point, it is a Zoom meeting, our sharing session. So, Michael, good to have you here, and nice to have you here again. So I think I'm all caught up on the chat. Oops, let me get rid of that one. What am I going to be looking or talking about today? Well, I didn't have a lot planned. Well, that's not true. I don't come up with these topics weeks ahead of time. I come up with them probably 30 minutes or maybe 6 hours before before the live stream. So it's the best I can do as a single person entity, as a small business. If I had a PR or media group behind me, then yeah, I would just be delivering whatever content they're asking me to deliver. But that's the way it works when you're a small business owner. So you do everything, you wear every hat. So I am going to just kind of go to overhead and look at this little booklet here, and I keep getting my head in the way. So there we go. So double base true grind sharpening system from Woodcut. I've been selling Woodcut tools now for almost 6 months, just over 6 months now. I guess this is May, so yeah, it'd be about 7 months. Company out of New Zealand, family-owned company. I've been in business for 29, 30 years or so, and the products are selling well. I think they're a great value for what they bring. They got some unique stuff, and this is one of them, a sharpening kit. And I think I'd mentioned this on a live stream or somewhere before that I was at one point going to change over my one-way guides to this guy, and I did that yesterday. And I tell you, it was actually kind of a breeze, except for removing the one-way stuff. So I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm not going to go into a full dialogue on this thing. I'm going to give you a bit of an overview, what I've seen so far and stuff. I'm going to have to work with this system for a while to really understand how it works. I've sharpened a few gouges on it. I'm committed now to using this, so all my gouges are going to get reground with this system, and so we'll see over time how well. I think the repeatability will be fine once I get it ground using this tool. It's just trying to approximate the same grinds I have now. I was pretty successful on the second one here. The first one I did not quite right, but close. And so we'll take a look. Oh, this is interesting, Michael. So a few years back, we traveled to Ottawa to visit our daughter, and I went to a local club meeting where they were hosting Graham Priddle. Oh, that was nice, nice surprise. So look, I'm looking over the the comment. I'll just turn that off for a second. Yeah, that's great, and that's always something I try and do when I was traveling for business. Years ago, traveled up to New Jersey, New York area, at least once a quarter, and caught the I think it's the I want to say it's Orange County up there in New York. I forget the name of the club, but I saw a couple of demos. I managed to capture a couple club meetings up there. So it's always nice if you do travel, reach out to the local club and see if you can catch their meeting. So I always enjoy doing that. So okay, so this is what we're going to talk about today a little bit. I've got a couple cameras set up. So let me just turn that off again. So this is my sort of, I guess, production grinder. That those platforms are one-way system. Those two platforms are set directly at 80 degrees, and that's strictly to do the teardrop cutters. And all my scrapers are ground sort of that same platform. So those two platforms never move. You see the pile of dust at the bottom of the left wheel, and that's a cardboard box that kind of surrounding it. And it's full of powdered metal. It's T1, most of it T1 high-speed steel. And so up top, there's a pair of gloves, and off to the side, you can't see, there's a dust mask I always wear. Pile of stuff beside it. Just to the side of it, I don't know if Michael might recognize that more than anybody, maybe. But that is a Veritas Mark II power sharpener. I bought that years ago to sharpen all my plane irons and my chisels. And I use that to clean the tops of rusty steel if it's got a little rust marks, because all the teardrop cutters I have are cut by a water jet, and so if I still got a magnet on that. Sorry, I'll take that off. And so these teardrop cutters are all cut through water jet, and so when I get them, they have typically they have to weld down the bar stock, and with the water and the slag, you get a little staining on them. So I take them to this machine, and I just flatten the tops on those, and then they come over to this machine and get ground. So those ones aren't going to change. I'm going to leave those with the one-ways because those platforms never change, never move. But we are going to take a look at this one. This is my other grinder for my tools, and as you can see, I've got it set up with the wood cut true grind system. So I'll walk over there and we'll take a look at those. I'll bring my little instruction book with me, and let me see. No other chat. So if you got questions about this stuff or what you've seen in my shop, I was about to say raise your hand. That's not going to work. Put a comment in chat in the comments, and we'll take a look at those. So I am going to move my monitor so I can see it when I'm over here. Oh, bear with me as I disturb things. All right. So here I am. That's my belly. So this is the True Grind system. If we take a look at, let's see a picture here. So, in fact, maybe I'll just come back over here and talk about the parts. Oh, I think I've got pictures of the parts. Let me just flipping through my images. So let's start with those first. So here, why True Grind? This is their marketing. So these will be proved out to me as we go through. 1 jig for all tools, including scrapers. 1 jig for all tool diameters. So anything from 1/4 inch all the way up to 3/4 inch, or we're going to try the 1 1/4 inch roughing gouge. Honestly, I don't know if it fits that or not. I don't even think I have that out over there. Let me grab that from the toolbox, and we'll see if it fits. And then what else does it say there? It says, as I sneak in here, I must have it out over there because I don't see it here. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have it there. Sorry. Let's see. Labeled settings. Yeah, for each bevel angle. So they do have labels on it, and the tool holder is notched, so it goes into fixed positions. That's nice. Twist handle. Simple to change grind settings. Yeah, so the little quick release handle on the slide. Scale on the base. Yeah, that's nice. Although it maybe needs a marker or something, some sort of indicator on the side. That might be something I can easily add on. Let's see. Competitors jig, multiple jigs. Okay, so that they're touting their product pretty good there. So this is it. Simply set the number to repeat your preferred bevel time after time, giving you the confidence in knowing each of your tools is being sharpened correctly. So that is true. I do like that it's notched and that it's ratcheted and fits into those slots exactly and is always repeatable. The one-way one doesn't have that, and you just have to kind of line up the marks, and hopefully you're close. So that's something I do like about this one. Sharpen a wide range of tools. So they're showing a skinny spindle gouge up there. They're showing a parting tool, and bottom left a skew, and the bottom right a large roughing gouge. So interesting. So this is the components: left slide or right slide, or I guess right slide, left slide, and then the tool holder, and then some screws to fix it, and of course the instruction book. And I haven't fully completed reading this thing yet, so we'll get there. Oh, I think that's it. So let's go over to back over there and take a look. So I will say that here's the old one way. So if we take a look at the old one way, and I've got that screw, you get that back in that hole. So the screws come out the bottom, and the way you have to, I'm just going to get my monitor twisted here. Bear with me a second. The way you have to mount this, the one way, is these screws are so close to the wheel that I had to take, not this wheel, but I had to take this cover off and this wheel off on this side to get at the screws. I remember doing, I hadn't done that for a long time, so I couldn't remember how I did that. I managed to get this side off without taking the wheel off, but you pretty much have to take the wheel off to mount this guy in there. The woodcut, easy, very easy to mount because all your three screw holes are outside the plane of the wheel, so not a problem. And then it's got this quick release lever, so the slide slides in and out, and like that. The one thing I have with this platform is I have the grinder fairly close to the edge of the plywood. This piece of plywood is just clamped to this bench, but this is the end of it. And for mounting this, I would suggest having, this is about maybe 1.25 inches. I would suggest having at least maybe 2 to 3 inches between your grinder base and your edge of the plywood, so that you have more room to screw these down. I'm right at the very corner of the plywood with this last screw, so something to be aware of. I could have turned this around. I got plenty of plywood in the back here, but it worked out. It's fine. It's on there solid. It's lined up as close to directly underneath the wheel as I could. It also needs to be from the base platform to the middle of the wheel, between 6 and 6.5 inches, and we're right there. So we're at 6 1/4, about there to the axis of rotation to the plywood base. So that's the same, I think pretty much the same as one way, so that's nice. They say to mount this bracket here, this edge of it, in line or just slightly forward of the wheel, and I couldn't actually do that with this short platform, so I'm actually just behind the angle of rotation. So that's why I say you need a longer platform out here. But we're going to give this a shot and see how this works. So far, I've found it works so far. Here's the tool holder. I've got the tool holder here, and let's see how the lighting is. It's not so bad. Brighten it up just a little bit. What is that doing? Sorry, just checking exposure here. Oh, it's wrong way. All right. In the shop here, my fluorescent light above me that's supposed to give me most of my light here is not working. So I've got this other light over here that's hopefully giving me more light. In fact, maybe I'll move that because I have the need for a bit more light on the other side. So this is part of the planning for these live streams. You just never know what you're going to need, when you're going to need it. And so you kind of, it's in the name, live stream. So This is all live, folks, so you just get to bear with me as I work through this stuff. And, I hope you don't mind, but that's just the way it kind of goes with doing these things this way. Oops. Getting tangled up in cords. There we go. Try that. I might get a bit better light. Yeah, there we go. So we've got the true grind holder here, and it's notched. So if you look at this side, there's a little notch there, and I wonder, I don't have that. Okay, I got to do this again. Sorry, I'm blocking everything here, but I've got a little thing here I forgot to plug in. My little remote. And is that completely dead? Yes, it is. It's completely dead. Oh, well, that came off. All right, we'll just do this manually. All right, so on this tool holder, there's a little ratchet there, little notches, a little peg, so that when you unlock this, it's still not going to loosen. You have to loosen it enough so that it swings free, and then you can find that notch. And they're numbered on this side. There's a little indicator to say, okay, I'm going to be in number 6, number 7, number 8, and they're fixed in those positions. So this one, I think I was in 6. So we'll go back to that one. Tighten that up. And then the protrusion here is about the same out the tool, 2 inches. I need a little guide there. What I've been using through the years on my one-way is a little wooden block that has that protrusion in it. This is great for travel if you're going to a club. Get a little block, put your hole in there, and then this on a one-way, the length of this block is the the distance out your arm goes. So on this side, if you're one-way thing, and trap it between the this V-block arm. And your baseline. So that's what I did with that. I'll have to figure something out for this system. And this is something I do like about this one is I don't need that big long arm anymore. I don't need an extra piece. I need this thing, and that's it. And it's already attached. Everything's there. So I'm good to go. So I may figure out something similar to this and going in there. So for this one, this little ball end fits in these little screw sockets here, or sorry, not screw sockets. They're bolt heads basically been drilled out, and they feel fairly secure in there all the way around, twisted or that way, not going to fall out. So there's another one back here, and I think that's for doing the scrapers heads. So we'll look at that in a second. So this, I think I had about 105 or something like that to get my nose angle. That's about right, about there. So this is how I kind of set it up to get a tool I already had kind of set up. I like my nose angle about 55 degrees, 58 degrees, somewhere in there. And so I just adjusted this guy until I got that. And that was about 105, I think, about there. So I'll have to make a mark or something like that, or use a something to give me an indication of where to mark that at. So that's something I'll have to figure out how to use this a bit better. But I do like the fact that it has scales on it, so I can get pretty darn close just by using the scale on there. So that's nice. Once I had the nose angle, then I laid it over on its side to see if I was close on the side bevel. And that is where I adjust this angle. So I tried 4, I tried 7, I tried 5, ended up on 6. 6 seemed to be about the right angle to give me that nose angle that I wanted on that guy. So hope that's focused okay. Looks like it is. So that's basically what I set up. So now I've got this one set, bowl gouges, my 55-degree long swept bowl gouge, a 2-inch exposure, set a number 6 at 110. I don't know, I think that's millimeters or whatever. Sorry, 105 out to this arm. So, oops, and you can't see that arm. So let me just go down there. I should widen that out a little bit. Wrong way, Todd. There we go. So I've got a little bit of repeatability just by looking at the actual arm here. So that's nice. The process is pretty much the same. I'm just going to see if that's kind of set somewhat correctly. It's got to come out a bit more. So, and I'll get like I said, I'll get a gauge block to figure that out. I'm looking at where it's grinding. Maybe it's closer to 110, where I had that guy set. Yeah, that looks like it. And then let's lay it over. And lay it over. And we're good to go. So that's a bowl gouge. What we'll take a look at, and I'll go back to the overhead, and we'll take a look at this in the overhead, is how these other tools load in. And we'll take the this and this, and maybe we'll take this scraper with us, maybe the parting tool. We'll kind of see how those go in there. I'll take a look at the chat. Let's see. Okay, we've got a new person joining. Tyler from Spain, thank you. Salvador, okay, excellent. Good to have you here. Is that taller? I don't know what that means. So welcome anyway, as Michael and Lee have welcomed you in. So good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Oop, I got to move my monitor back a little bit. So, and that is in the picture. That's what you're seeing at the bottom there. Sorry about that. And then let's go to overhead and take a look. So get my Diet Coke off there. Get that. I'll widen out a little bit. There we go. We've got a couple of tools here to take a look at, a handled one and a non-handled one. And we'll take a closer look at this tool holder. So it's got a nice sort of brass turning screw here. And that brings that out. Oh, I'll get that pin and a smaller one as well. That we'll do. Try that. I don't know if we need that for that one, but we shall see. So this tool holder comes with this small pin, and you'll notice in the bottom of this brass block here, there's a V groove there, and then there's a V groove down here made by the red cage. And so if you have a really small tool and it doesn't center or straddle that part very well, doesn't line up, maybe it gets cockeyed in there like that, right? So that's not going to grind very well. So you can use this brass or this steel bar in there to help you line up your gouge flute like that, so that's in the flute, and it gives that brass gauge something to rest upon. So that's nice. That allows the tool to kind of sit in there. It's probably not the right one for this one to use, but those kind of things. The one thing I do find bothersome is that does fall out, and you kind of have to hang on to that somewhere. So, but I think it's a good solution for those kind of gouges or those tools that need that kind of extra support. So that's good. Let's see if this guy's going to fit in there. This is the big, oops, wrong way, Todd. 1 1/4 inch spindle roughing gouge. Look at that. So now a spindle roughing gouge has a straight across profile, like this profile across here, straight. It's not like a bowl gouge where it's rounded this way. So how does that manage to grind on here? So they have specific instructions in here. Spindle roughing gouge. Set the pivot leg to position 1. So position 1 is going to be way down here. There's 1. And what that does is it put this pivot line in line with the tool. So what it means is when you roll this, it's going to be like rolling it on a platform. So it's going to keep that wing straight. So let's see if that's true. Let's go over to the grinder and check that out. So I haven't done this yet. So this is fun. This will be interactive. There we go. So we just have to set the okay. Okay, that's all it says. There's a few other things it says, but we just basically have to set it up so we get the right angle. And by gosh, we're just about there already. So, and it's going to get that roughly the same angle all the way around. Maybe not quite. It's going to be swept back a little bit, but the front wing, oops, I can't see that. The front edge should be parallel. Let me go back here for a second. We'll see. I see what's going to happen. This is interesting. So let me get my one second. I have to get my what am I saying, Todd? Sharpie. I'm trying to get my Sharpie marker. So it is up here. There it is. So when I took a look, I'll show you what I saw over there. So first of all, we take a look at this bevel on this grinding wheel. Let me see if I can get some black contrast here. So if I take a look at this bevel, the length of the bevel right at the midpoint is fairly long, but it's fairly short up here, right? It's a lot shorter. So I've got a bevel that's changing length across the surface. And that's simply from rolling on a platform this way. It's doing that. When I looked over there, it was hitting perfectly on this whole bevel at the edge, but it was only hitting at the tip up here, or sorry, down here. I draw it on the other side since I screwed that up. So it was going to hit here. So it means it's going to take out this material here, a much longer bevel. So I'm going to have to grind away a lot of material here on that wing there. Well, let's see, maybe that doesn't do any good. And then same thing on the other side. It's going to take this section out here. And what that means for me is I've got the same length of bevel all the way along the tool on either side instead of something that's changing. So, and yet still maintaining that parallel edge on the front. So that's going to take me a while to get through and grind, regrind to the shape. So I won't do that live, but that's something to keep an eye on or an idea about. I think my camera got bumped a little bit, so excuse me as I reach. There we go. So that's interesting. It fits that guy. I'm happy about that. What else can we put in here? It says we can put in parting tools, which I've never really done a parting tool in a jig before. I always did that on a platform. So we have a parting tool here. Take it out of my handle and just deal with it. See, what does it say for parting tool? So I Oh, it's here somewhere. Spindle gouge or spindle rough and gouge. Parting tool. Okay, place the tool on the true grind tool holder horizontal. Okay, so it goes horizontal in there. Let's try that, see what happens. So it flattens out there nicely. It, that brass flat, make sure that it is flat. And so now what we'll do is we'll set it in the pivot arm, or in the pivot point, and then we'll adjust this arm till we get that parallel and at the right angle. So, and then flip it over and do the other side. So I'll play with that and see how that's going to work out. It's a different way of thinking about doing parting tools for sure. So let's just go over and see how that might work. Okay, so we've got this in there. It's going to lay there. I can already see it's going to be skewed off to the side a little bit doing this. So I'm not quite sure how that is really going to work on a I'll move that over. Yeah, it's going to skew the parting tool. So I don't know that really works very well that way. I wonder if I can put that all the way to 1. It's still going to be slightly skewed. Let me just, I'm pretty close at the angle there. It's sharpening the whole bevel. I can see that. But yeah, I'm getting a skew. So I have to twist it a little bit to get it flat, which is not really what I want to do. So I don't think that's the way I'd want to sharpen my parting tools. I wonder if it can just put the tool in the regular way. I really didn't measure my exposure either, so that's something else to play with as well. So if I put it in this way, which would be kind of like a normal orientation for me, it's fitting in that notch. I haven't quite tightened it fully. It's fitting in that notch. It's fitting about right. Maybe put the exposure out a bit further and do that. So David has a good question. Let's see. David says, so I don't hide. Do you set the same protrusion length for the spindle, roughing gouge, and parting tool as you did for the bowl gouge? I think you do. I think that's the intent, so it's repeatable. You have a little block set up in front of your table, so you can stick it on there and have the same protrusion length. So that's, I think, the intent. I'm just kind of trying to demonstrate quickly how each one of these tools kind of fits. And like I said, this is going to take time for me to kind of work through and figure out. But this, I think, might be the better way to do a parting tool, at least for me. So again, with it in position 1, where I've got it pretty much parallel to the tool, and then set that on the tool rest and set that. Can I do that way? I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I don't think it can, because that's going to be in the way. Let's go check it out. So it can certainly do that. I have to bring this in a little bit. Maybe about there. So that'll certainly work. And once you get this side ground, this top side ground, you really don't grind that much. You just touch up the bottom. And so this would be perfectly fine for just touching up. And that flattens, not quite flattened. But again, you're kind of eyeballing that you have this not twisted and that you're level. So it's basically, I think platform sharpening on this one might be easier because at least you have a parallel surface, a slight parallel surface, a very small one, but parallel surface here to rest your tool on. So definitely, I think this one's for platform sharpening. And woodcut does have a platform that'll go on here, so I don't have that out here right yet, but maybe I'll talk about that next week. And we'll get the sturdy rest attached here as well, and we'll use that. So, it does have those other pieces that we can use. I think I've got that back into shape. Let's see. Will I be able to do this? I won't be able to do this. No, because my tool's in the way. So I can't flip it upside down to do the top side in the same. What I have to do is flip the tool over. And just flip it upside down. Try and get approximate same exposure. And I would measure that again, but I'm not right now. Not there. There we go. Got that back, not quite flattened. One more go. I'm eyeballing down the tool to kind of keep it perpendicular, if you will, and then sliding across the top edge to see it's flat and not skewed one way or the other. Interesting. All right, so that looks decent. It's hard to see in the picture. So we've got a nice edge up top, nice edge on the bottom. It looks fairly square. So, and it held nice and steady in there. It's not moving anywhere. So it is possible to do a parting tool, but I'm not sure I recommend their way of doing it here because you end up putting a skew angle on your parting tool. Scrapers, traditional scraper. So this is a scraper. Let's give this a shot. How long have I been going? I'm just about an hour, so we'll finish this one and we'll do that. So place the scraper and the tool holder protruding as before and clamp tight. So same idea, clamp it in there. We'll get it at the same protrusion. And I've got, this one's interesting because it's not the same width up here as it is back here. So this is a box scraper, so it's narrowing down here. And as it narrows down, there's a gap. It's gapping here and here, right? You see that gap there? So that it's flat. It's maybe not in all the way. Maybe that I might have to protrude this one out until you get to the full width. So that's something to keep in mind if you got tapered parts, how that's going to affect the grind. So let's just say that that's in there. It's in nice and solid. And then the pivot leg goes as far as it will go forward to position 9. So if we look on the scale here, it's 1 through 8, and then 9 is all the way up here. So let's change that guy because this is something radically different than what we've done before. So it goes all the way up there, and we tighten that up. And so we're like this picture here, right? So now place the pivot leg in the forward pivot position on the base slide. Move the base slide in and out to get the angle. They say generally on 55 degrees. Really? That's a little steep for me. Okay, so I didn't switch cameras. Get back there. Switch a poo. There we go. All right. So on the 1 second. I'm gonna change that around. see my monitor again. So on the on this baseline, there's this one and this one. So we're going to use this one now, way up front. That's why we changed that there, so that we can get this guy up there. And this is where I think we need to change that to kind of get our angle. That looks about right. So right about there. So now we've got I don't know if you can really see that in the camera angle. Maybe not the best. Maybe not the best angle. I'm trying to do this on this side, which is not the right way to hold it for me because I'm trying to keep out of the way of the camera. But we're able to kind of swivel this whole tool around that soft edge and get that box edge. And back around to the front. Well, that worked fairly well. I'm quite pleased with that one. So, and what's nice about this, if I switch back to here and change my monitor back, is that I've got a nice, I missed one spot right there. You can maybe see the glint in the, well, no, it's, you can see the whole thing. And then the top edge is, there we go, glinting. So the whole top edge is sharp now. So that worked quite well. I was pleased that I was able to kind of pivot that around to the side and stuff. I'll have to look at that tape later to see how that looked on the camera. But yeah, so that worked. At least I can get that side. So, you know, if you're having, you know, that's on my left wheel, so I'm able to swing to the left side. If this was on the right wheel, then my handle may swing into the grinder. Well, can we show that? Let's just kind of see. Let's see, does it, because that's one of the problems with, where was I at? I was at about 80. So that's just to approximate this. Now this is a smaller wheel, so it's not CBN, it's stone, so its dimensions are going to be slightly different for how to do this. But just, I'm not going to turn it on, but for illustration purposes, so you go around the corner, at least a box scraper I can get in there. I'm going to be able to get the whole surface and not have my handle. But if it was a straight edge square scraper, I might run into my handle on that side. So, but yeah, I'm able to get around that corner just fine. Huh, interesting. You guys are learning along with me. So that, I think, is all I'm going to show about that today. But I want you to be aware of the tools we carry, and that I am set up to use this True Grind and learn more about it, so that I can support you guys in your endeavors using a tool like this. And I think it's going to be, I'm going to be happy to get rid of that 3-foot long V-arm block thing, and not have to change that out. I'll show the sturdy rest next time, and we'll take a look at that. It's maybe not the prettiest looking thing, I don't think, but we'll see. Let's see. Tony says, does the platform come with the rest of it, or is it an accessory? It's an accessory. So, yeah. So the base kit, I got my booklet out here. Where was that picture? Actually, this will be better. Let me just get to it here. This one is the base kit, Tony. Comes with the 2 slides and the holder and the screws to mount it. There's 3 screws per side, and that's all you need to begin with. If you want a sturdy rest, then that's an extra kit. I don't know how much they are. I don't know how much any of this stuff is. I don't know offhand. Check out the website and take a look and see if it's there. Roy, thanks for coming. Better late than never. So good to have you here. Hopefully you've been here the whole time. What does Philip say? Philip is saying we never stop learning. That's how we learn new wood turning techniques. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of the I know it's Cindy believes that as well. Keep learning, keep sharing. I do too. This one is a bit more maybe commercial in its aspects because I'm showing you a product I sell, but I'm learning how to use it, and I wanted to share with you what I've been up to, why I've changed it, because I want to learn about it and be able to support it. And I think I'm going to be happy to get rid of that, like I said, the long V arm. So yeah, interesting stuff. The skew, we didn't put a skew in there, but it looks like that bottom right for a skew would work, because then you can get that skewed angle. So definitely a skew would be a good one. Parting tool, maybe not so much. And obviously spindle gouge, bowl gouges work like they should. So this tool holder I do like. The notches, locks in place, and repeatable. So let me not there. Skip back to here. Remind everybody again, Wednesday, May 18th, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central, noon Mountain. Cindy and I will be doing a sharing session together. So I've been co-hosting her demos and sharing sessions, follow-up sessions. We decided, well, let's kick in together and see if we can't get everybody together and learn something together. Sorry, I'm distracted with thanks. Okay, thanks for sharing that with us. I will be thinking about that setup. The stronghold extension is so long, I frequently bump into it. Yeah, stronghold extension. I think, yeah, the V-arm block, the one way. Yeah, I got same issues. So, folks, thank you, Philip. I appreciate it. And Lowell and everybody else that joined, Roy and Tony and David and Steve and Lee and Cindy, and everybody else out there, the new follower from Spain. I can't remember your name now. Sorry, apologies. But come back next week, Fridays at 2:30, and I should be back here again with a live stream on Facebook and YouTube, and that is up there. Let me get big again. Facebook and YouTube. Find them on my website. Come visit us at woodturningtoolstore.com. Lots of resources there, along with these live streams and YouTube videos and stuff. So bye, my friends. We'll see y'all next week. This is Todd from Woodturning Tool Store saying good day. Have a great weekend and keep turning. I'll see you next week. There we go. One more.